the Sheds at the moment, led by number 19 in Brandon McGrady. Good ploy with Ash Taylor on the bench to Gary Lawrence.
Yeah, look, I was just watching him run out there. He's still well built, like he's got good body shape and everything like that. But he's got both knees heavily strapped, so it's a great if you've got Clevens that you can put in there and, bring him on in the last 20 minutes of each half so that he can give the players a bit more leadership around there. But Tony Clevens will do a good job for them. And I'm looking to see how Brandon McGarady goes as a halfback. I just think they... for this side to go well for Warwick.
And we have kick-off with Oakey going away from the scoreboard end, and Warwick collect the ball. And the first hit up there is Morgan Byrne. He takes it up for the Cowboys up to the 20-metre line. He'll play the ball. First ruck of the match comes out to Mitch Wilson. He takes it forward. Not bad for a bloke with a broken bone or in his thumb. Looks like he's hurt it a little bit there in that first scrum. His wrist. And a penalty not getting off the ball there against Gus Taylor from Oakey there, Gary Lawrence.
Yeah, look, and that's something that they can't give penalties away there. It's the Oakey side. They're a big body side, so they don't want to be giving piggybacks down the field and letting this lively side from Warwick get around too quickly, or they'll be in a lot of trouble here. Jackson Lepoo, and with the pink headgear, he's one to watch, Obi.
Here he is. Lepau comes back inside, gives it out to Charlie Christensen. Came over from Ipswich this year. Comes out the back, comes out to the 18, and I just can't see that 18. Is it
Cody Byrne?
Cody Byrne in 18. That's right. I just put him down. He at 16 in there as well. So they're inside the 20 in Oakey's territory already. Potter Sullivan goes himself from dummy half. He'll go close. He's only about 5 metres out from Oakey line. He'll get up to play it in the early minutes of this game. Out to Wilson. Wilson out to McGrady. McGrady gives it to Schuster. Schuster gives it inside to Schuster. That is as well, and he'll score the easiest of tries. It was wonderful stuff there by Tavita Schuster, and it was urgency there, the number 4, and they're on the board already. 4 points to 0. Looks very ominous here, Gary Lawrence.
Yeah, look, it did, and the Oakey had them under pressure, 30, 40 metres out from the Warwick line. They put a lot of pressure on, then they gave a penalty, and they piggybacked Warwick down to the 40 metres out, and once they got into that green zone, there were a couple of good centre runs. With Christensen, he's come to the right-hand side of the Oakey Bears side, and then we saw where they come around and they had the lock forward, Mitch Wilson, he's first receiver, then second receiver was McGrady, and it was just, once it got into Tavita's hands, they weren't going to stop him. He's got footwork, he's lightning quick, and he's got great footwork, and I don't think Oakey saw that come with that step from the left to right. And
here's the conversion. Who's kicking this, Gary?
I don't know.
Is it Lepau?
Schuster was kicking the game I saw.
He makes no mistakes. So after 2 minutes, it's 6-0. And Warwick are on the board all too easy from there as well. And that's where it probably backfired with Ash Taylor not on the field. But then again, he's had some injuries there. But he does boost him, that's for sure. It was Luke Pollock with that kick there. So that makes it 6 points to 0 in the first 3 minutes of the match here. Oakey versus Warwick on Power FM with Gary Lawrence, Andrew O'Brien with Joey Eisen to restart. He kicks it on this grandstand side, goes to ground there, set himself. Charlie Christensen grabs it on the run. He goes forward. He's hit pretty big by Johnny Mailer. He had a great game against Dalby last week. Or was it Johnny Pallavi? They go again. Out it comes to Jake Speed. He takes it over the 30-metre line for Warwick. 6-0, they're up after 3 minutes. Warwick over Oakey. Comes across, out to Mitch Wilson. Mitch Wilson takes it over the 40-metre line. He's tackled there by Joey Eisen, and also in there is is Torps. They get across, they go forward, they go across again, and Burns. They get over into the Oakey territory. Quick dummy half by Harry Sullivan, and he is absolutely laid flat by Richard Murray. It was a ripper, and the crowd loved that as they put it up there by Lepau. It's too big, it's going to go, bounces back in. It was close to it, and Dylan Chown, did he get into the field to play? Yes, he did, because it bounced just before the dead ball line, didn't it, Gary?
It did indeed, and they've got to be careful here, Warwick. They could have given a penalty away there, but and they have given a penalty away here. We saw Morgan Burns come in with the shoulder.
That's right.
And it's not on in the game today.
That's right. Well, we haven't seen many penalties on shoulder charges this season. Gary, are they a thing of the past?
Oh, they are indeed under the new rulings. And, it's all great. They're trying to protect the players and long term. I think the NRL is more concerned about the litigation in years to come with head knocks. But
Kennedy onto Pallavi. They're just inside Warwick's territory for the first time with the ball. He'll get up to play it. Kennedy, as it comes to Cleven. Cleven has got Richard Murray on his hip. He gets over the 40-metre line in Warwick territory. 6-0 they're down, Oakey. Kennedy again gives it back to Eisen onto Johnny Mailer. He pushes Mitch Wilson. The ball goes back, but the referee said it goes backwards. They're still in the 30-metre line here. Oh, terrible pass there by Oakey, and Warwick have got the ball through Charlie Christensen. They look pretty good in that couple of hit-ups, but they can't make mistakes like that. 6-0 it is. Warwick over Oakey after 5 minutes.
Yeah, look, it was a poor set at the end. It ended up being a poor set for the Oakey. They really had the opportunity. They've gone through the middle, and then they needed to just go one or two passes on the edge and see what the A and B defenders are going to do, because we haven't seen either one of them test each other. But Morgan Burns is hitting it up here, Obi, and finds his front and
good.
quick
He's been
play
good
the ball.
Earlier play the ball. Sullivan, dummy half, takes it out onto his captain, Brandon McGrady, onto Cody Byrne. Cody Byrne, it's Morgan Bird in 13, sorry. Harry Sullivan goes to the left again to McGrady, chips it. It was a little chip kick, but it was taken on the full by Joey Eisen. It was well taken by Eisen on his 20-metre line. So Oakey doing well. They're awake in this game, that's for sure. They're down by 6 points to 0. We've had 6 minutes of play as Oakey through Marcus Spence takes it forward. He gets nearly to the halfway line. Dylan Chown takes the next hit up. He's met there by a wall of Cowboys players. They set themselves. Kennedy at dummy half. Passes it out to Gus Taylor. Gus Taylor nearly to the halfway. They're looking a bit slow here, Oakey. Bit of a forward pass, I thought, there. They come back inside to Pallavi. Pallavi stops a rot and gets inside Warwick territory. They've only made about 15 metres in 4 tackles. Comes back to Eisen. He puts a big up and under. Speech sets himself. He takes it up nicely and is tackled by Joey Alberts on his 30-metre line, Gary.
Yeah, look, and the Oakey players hurt himself there in that tackle, and Kennedy, I think it may be down, and they can't afford to lose Kennedy around the ruck area and his guidance that he gives to these big men. But Warwick have come down this right-hand side here.
They have. Lapau at dummy half, gets it on to Pollock. Pollock gives it on to Schuster, who scored the first try. My first look at him. And the referee says, let's just hold it up for a moment as they attend to Robert Kennedy, who's down on the 30-metre line. He's looking at his ankle.
And Schuster's not looking good either. He's he rolled an ankle in the first, after he scored the try, and he came back, and then the next set he had a bit of a twisted ankle, but he's getting up here very slow. They've got...
so
there's injuries everywhere.
But it's been fairly physical, mate. There's especially 2 mobile packs in this game, mate, that's for sure.
Yeah, it doesn't look good for...
Kennedy, he's trying to walk on it. Still 0-0 in the other games, Gatton and Highfields and Valleys and Pittsworth. The other A-grade games, Waddles defeated Gundawindi 38-16 last night at Platts Oval, and Brothers went down to Dolby at their home ground by 22 points to 16. So we'll play the ball with Schuster just inside Oakey territory. Harry Sullivan at dummy half onto Mitch Wilson. Wilson on to Pollock. Pollock's got the ball just on the 40-metre line inside Oakey territory. They go down the middle again. Now here is Morgan Byrne. 30 metres out, right in front of the post.
He's lost the ball.
To play. A little knock on there. Was it from Sullivan or was it Byrne there, Gary?
No, Burns, but I think he was assisted there with Torps. He's had the hands there, but it was a loose. Well, it was his fault. He got up, didn't respect the ball enough, and turns it over. And they're in the middle of the field. They're 30 metres out. A couple of plays to go, and he's done that. now they'll put themselves under a lot of pressure, and we'll see what Oakey have got here coming out of their own end.
Yeah, because we seem to be just watching them in Oakey's half as Cleven gets the ball onto Joey Alberts, who played well last week. He gets over his 30-metre line. He's tacking there in Lapau, and also helping there is Rara Lalavu. And they lose the ball, Oakey, do they? Yes, they knock it on there as
Morgan
well.
Burns
with
came in with a big
got
hit
there as well. So a bit of a scrappy start from both sides here. We've had 8 minutes of play. It is Warwick 6, Oakey 0, Gary.
Yeah, look, it's they've been going backwards and forwards there, but they need to settle down, Oakey, and just control for 6 and then kick long, turn this Warwick side around. They're going to have to turn them around, put them into a corner, make them earn the ball ground yardage coming out. But they just need to have a bit more respect. But how the days of rugby league's changed when we get a winger. He's 6'6" and probably 95 kgs feeding the scrum.
Oh, well, an initiative by Jakey Speed and for his namesake Colin Speed. So feeding the scrum there. So obviously a set move of something there as Tom Bell takes the ball for the first time on that far side. Comes across, out it comes out to Lapau, onto Charlie Christensen, who's been good. He's taken down. He'll get up to play it on the 20-metre line in Oakey territory. Onto Rara Lavabu. He gets the ball in the number 3 jersey. He's 10 metres out. They come across, out it comes out to Sullivan, on to Brandon McGrady. Comes back inside to Cody Byrne. He's tackled 10 metres out. Oh, they lift him a little bit. Did it deserve a penalty?
Yeah,
Once
his feet come up and he's gone parallel.
That's right. So a penalty there. So the good work undone by Oakey. Beg your pardon? No malice. No, there wasn't.
His feet had come off the ground and they...
9 minutes in, 6 points to 0. Warwick over Oakey. They take the tap with Cody Byrne going straight for the post, and he hits a brick wall there, and John Mailer, he'll get up to play it. They come across, out it comes out to Brandon McGrady, back into Pollock over the top there for Yussi, and he scores on the overlap there for Warwick, and that puts him 10 points to 0 in front after 10 minutes there, Gary.
Yeah, look, and I saw him play, Yussi. Is it UC? Is that how you pronounce it?
UASI.
UC.
Anyhow, I think it is.
He can run. We saw him a couple of weeks ago get the ball probably 40 metres out and just danced all the way down the sideline and has got pace. And, he's been a great inclusion for them. He gives them a lot more speed. We've got speed on one side and then you've got UC on the other side. They've got plenty of speed out wide. And
they certainly have, mate. What I was going to say, mate, was that Oakey's only got themselves to blame because they're just... Well, they're actually being bullied at the moment. Because they've got Mailer and Pallavi and Torps there as well. And Warwick have taken it to them early in this match, haven't they, mate?
They have indeed. And, I would always expect with a side with Mailer and those guys in it, Pallavi, they're big bodies. And the reason you'd put Morgan and Cody Burns in there because they've got no respect for their body. They don't care. They'll go forward, but they've also got speed like Cody Burns last week. My understanding was he played a full 80 minutes of rugby league and then he goes down the Gold Coast and runs a half marathon.
Yeah, unbelievable.
So he's fit. He'll run all day.
Is Luke
and
Pollock right on the sideline on that Eastern touch. It's about 25 metres back. Warwick up 10 points to 0 over Oakey. We've had 11 minutes of play. In comes Pollock. Looks good in the air. I think it's going to be short. Is it over? No, it's not. It's short. So the score remains 10 points to 0 after 12 minutes here after Yussi and Schuster tries their first in the first minute. Tavita Schuster scored, and now in the 10th minute it was Yussi. So it's 10-0 after 12 minutes. You can see Oakey just walking up here. I've got to say, look, they just had a lot of enthusiasm there. I see Ash Taylor just walking around there. He'll probably inject himself soon into the match. He's on the bench. Tony Cleven starting the half. He's going to restart this ball and kick it deep.
There's just a stoppage there at the present time. Cody Burns is getting attention. When he hit that ball up on the right-hand side goalpost after getting the penalty for where they lifted him up and dumped him, he split himself over the left eye. So they're just putting a Band-Aid on there and tape him up. and the referees had to stop the game just until they can get that because he's on the 10-metre mark. So not a bad ploy to give themselves a bit of a break.
Well, Oakey need it more than Warwick at the moment, but they need the ball in their hands, that's for sure. Here's Cleven with the restart. Goes down deep, sets himself Brandon McGrady. He's got runners, gives it on to Morgan Byrne. Morgan Byrne goes forward. He gets to about his 15-metre line. He'll play it for Warwick. 10-0 it is, Warwick over Oakey. We've had 12 minutes of play in this match. Mitch Wilson takes it up. He's hit hard there by Tony Cleven and also John Pallavi. Harry Sullivan comes the blind again onto Charlie Christensen, who's been good on this right side. He makes good yards over the 30-metre line. He'll get up to play it. Sullivan out to Brandon McGrady, back inside to Cody Byrne. He gets nearly to the 50-metre line. He'll get up to play it. Sullivan, what have they got? Set themselves here. Will they run it up the middle? Yes, they will. Lepau dummies back inside to Christensen, goes himself, and he's bottled up in a nice tackle there by Torps, and also in there John Pallavi. He'll get up to play it. Comes out to Brandon McGrady. He goes to the sky. It goes over to the left there. Alistair Cameron sets himself. He drops it backwards. He's got the ball, and the defence from Warwick capture him on the 10-metre line, Gary.
Yeah, look, and it was a reasonable set there. The kick probably wasn't where they wanted to go, but it swirled around, and he was under a lot of pressure out there to catch that ball, but he caught it, and after knocking it back, but they've just got to do the simple things. They've got to get in there, and the wingers and the fullbacks have got to get in and take the pressure off these big men and get out of dummy half quicks.
Yeah, well, Oakey talking about having trouble getting out of their 20. It's the fifth tackle. They're not out of their 30 yet. Oakey, so great defence there. They kick downtown Ising. It's a good kick. Goes down into the 20-metre area for Pollock. He grabs it in front of his post and brings it back. He gets over the 30-metre line. He's got a bit of a gap there, but he goes through one and gets it almost to the 50-metre line. So not the best of chase by the Bears, was it, Gary?
No, it wasn't. They weren't consistent. You come up in a line, but they came up like a zipper and up, down, up, down. Another penalty there. They've really got their technique incorrect here at the present time, but they will get the message shortly. If they don't fix it, they'll be 6 points will come very quickly against them.
Yeah, they wouldn't want Warwick to get away too much here as Pollock kicks for touch there, and it'll be a penalty to Warwick for that lifting of that tackle. They'll tap the ball on the 35-metre line, gives it to Schuster. He goes down that left side. He's met by his opposite number in Marcus Spence. Schuster's got one up on Spence at the moment. Spence, the Clydesdale-aligned player. Thomas Bell takes it back. He had a good season last year. He gets it about 10 metres out from Oakey line. Right in front of the post. They come across him onto Lepau. Gets it back out to Pollock. Pollock goes. He trips over his own feet. Has he hurt himself there with an ankle? No, he's got up okay. He'll get up to play it. Comes it back out to Harry Sullivan. Wasn't the best pass, and he's knocked it on. Well, that was not very good play there, was it, Gary? They seemed to be set, but they just didn't execute, did they, Gary?
No, it all came that the play ball was quick, but they weren't in the right position at dummy half, and it was a very, very poor pass. Harry Sullivan was looking left and right rather than watching the ball, and he was looking left where he's going to run to, but he should have been looking right at the time, and he's turned the ball over, but he recovered there. Him and Mitch Wilson dived on the ball, and now Oakey. Ash Taylor's on now, and he feeds the scrum over.
Here's Marcus Spence, takes the first hit up. That's a bit high there, but he got down. Marcus Spence appealing to the referee, but he'll have nothing of it. Charlie Adams goes forward. Gee, this defence from Warwick. They are just, their line speed is very good, Gary, isn't it? Here's Pallavi, that's what they need. Up the middle they go. Up the 40.
Mitch Wilson.
Mitch Wilson around the legs. Out it comes out to Joey Alberts. Still not out of their half yet, Oakey. Probably been a better set of six. Here's Dylan Chown. It's just inside Warwick territory, the fifth and last now. So great defence shown by the Cowboys in this first 16 minutes. They lead 10-0. Here's goes back to Tony Cleven. He puts it up. Pollock comes across, takes it easily on the full, inside his 20-metre line. Good chase this time by Marcus Spence on that side. He'll play the ball, Pollock, in his 20-metre line. Takes it out here, gives it out to Yissi. He gets up to the 30-metre line. He'll get up to play it. Harry Sullivan. Out it comes to Jake Speed. He's muscled up a bit, Jake Speed, hasn't he, mate, since the last season? He'll get up to play it. Harry Sullivan. Out it comes to Lavu. He'll get up to the 50-metre line. And it comes to Lepau. He kicks it on about the 4th tackle. Comes back over to Dylan Chown. The experienced fullback takes it easily on his 10-metre line. Comes across the face of the goal. Finds a little bit of a gap. He's chased by Schulster and makes good ground up to about the 30-metre line, Chown. A good play of the ball onto Alistair Cameron. Cameron takes the first hit up, gets over his 30-metre line. 10-0 they're down, Oakey. We've had 17 minutes of play. Warwick in front. They play the ball. They come that right side. Comes on to Spence, I think it is again. He just gets inside Warwick territory. Here's Johnny Mailer. We've hardly seen him. He was tremendous last week. Geez, one of my favourite players, Mailer. He gets up to play it. Cleven out of dummy half, out to Eisen, on to Ash Taylor, his first touch. A big spiral pass to Joey Alberts, finds a bit of a gap. He beats Roro Lavabu, who's going to score himself, Joey Albert, and that was poor defence by Warwick on this side. And I don't know whether he's got a magic wand or whatever, but all he did, Ash Taylor, was just pass the ball, and Alberts did the rest, Gary.
Yeah, look, he wasn't just pass the ball, that was probably 25-metre pass, right to left. And that's his favourite side to pass. So he, with it there, they really got to the edges there, and it was a poor defence there by Rara Bavula, is it?
Rara Lavu, yes, and it was poor defence. First of all, he wasn't set for starters, and then he tried to come back in, but Joey Albert, he's a sort of a roly-poly sort of a player, and he just loves getting the ball, and he played really well last week. I'm sorry about bragging about that, Gary, but I am a big Oakey fan at the moment. We're in this type of form, but then again, they were 10-0, not looking good up until that point, until Taylor come back on the park, Gary.
Yeah, look, and he's got to really get his troops together, and he's got to start to push them around, get Mailer and those guys just a little bit wider and coming back in behind to play the balls and hitting the A defenders. If they get in there and Dylan Chown's trailing them on the inside, there are opportunities there, but you know they haven't tested the A and B defenders once. They've just got around there by Luke by a very long pass that he spiralled out there, Ash Taylor.
This is an important kick, Gary, for Oakey. Tony Cleven, he's 5 metres in from the eastern touchline. You'll hear the shout from the nearby crowd. We're right in the middle of a love calling here, in the middle of the crowd. He takes a deep breath, Tony Cleven.
Is that what you do when you're about to chip in?
Yeah, that's right. No, mate, I just keep it nice and simple. He looks back, and here comes Cleven. Looks pretty good, but no, it's going to be waved away to the right-hand side.
He's only just missed that too.
Yeah, so after 18 minutes, it's 10 points to 4. Round the grounds with Lockyer Valley Toyota. 4-0 Gatton over Highfields, and over there at John McDonnell Oval, same score, 4-0 Valleys over Pittsworth. It's 10-4, big buddy, here at Trevor Mickleborough Oval. We've had 19 minutes of play, Warwick in front. And we're just about to have the restart with Pollock putting their ball on the tee, Gary.
Yeah, look, and Ben Sullivan's come on the right-hand side, and Dan Conn's come into the middle there. So
changes after 20 minutes. The ball goes downtown, gets it out to Chown. Chown gives it out to Big Torps. He's met heavily there by Cody Byrne. Come across, out it comes to Pallavi. Pallavi's hit by Ben Sullivan in his first tackle of the game. Charlie Christensen's in there to help him. They are on their 20-metre line. Ash Taylor at dummy half gets it out to Richard Murray. Richard Murray over the 40-metre line. This is a good set of 6. They kick downtown through Cleven. It's a beauty. Could be a 40-20. I don't know whether it is. Let's have a look at the refs here. It could be a ripper. Let's hold it there.
Yeah, they're claiming it.
Yes, it is. A great shot by Tony Cleven. The momentum back over to Oakey at the moment. We've had 20 minutes of play, and it's going to be a play the ball 20 metres out from Warwick territory here, Gary.
Yeah, look, and we'll just see what they do here, whether they jam up and go hard, or whether they just play a couple of balls up the centre and go wide to Taylor. Cleven
on to John Mailer, a bit flat-footed, but he takes a tackle 20 metres out from Warwick line. Eyes in a dummy half, gets it on to Finay Fienga. Big changes as well for Oakey. He's on. Comes out to Richard Murray. He's good in this situation. He bounces off Cody Byrne. He'll get up to play it right in front of the post. Oakey on the attack. Out to Ash Taylor. Gives it back inside to John Pallavi. He makes mincemeat of a few Cowboys players. One's all still on the ground. Out it comes to Big Torps. It comes through and he's tackled right in front of the post. Good set, a couple of sets of 6 here by Oakey. One with the 40-20. Ising back out to Taylor. Big long ball to Alberts. Alberts met there by Jackson Lepau. He'll play the ball. 4th tackle it is. A couple to go. They go towards the sticks here. Here's Richard Murray. He settles it. Is this the 5th and last? No, he must have given a 6 again. They'll play the ball. Eisen comes to blind. Out to Taylor. Gives it to Alberts and he's going to score! He scores his 2nd try in as many minutes there, Alberts. And they're in this game up to their eyeballs. It is 10 points to 8. Warwick still in front here, Gary.
Yeah, look, it's all on the back end. I thought their play the balls were too slow there and Mailer and those guys, but Ash Taylor knew that he could get a robust body on the outside of the Lepeur. And, the 5'8", he's a good size 5'8", but there was no way he was going to stop a big body coming at him on that edge. I was a bit disappointed in the way they defended there, but Ash Taylor's made his winger stand outside speed. It was 5 metres outside speed. Speed was defending in, and I was waiting for the shotgun pass to go like a bullet out there, but they didn't. They just put it to the edge, and they caught him napping.
Amazing. Gary, what do you think, mate? Are you impressed with this last 5 minutes with Oakey? You haven't seen him all year, have you?
No, I haven't. I've spoken to Jason a few times, and he's been pretty positive all the time about Oakey, but this time here we saw what they can do. They've just got to be... It's a simple game, rugby league, and you've got to go forward, hold the ball, and then you've got to get people in holes, get them running the lines, and that's what they did. And Ash Taylor, 2 passes, 2 try assists.
Yeah, well, Clevin should have learnt from this. He's a bit further to the western touchline, only a metre out this time on the grandstand side. Sets himself, and he comes. It looks pretty good. Does it sneak inside? No, it waves away this time to the left side. So a 2-point ball game here with Warwick leading. Here, I think we've got a bit of a game on our hands here, Mr. Lawrence. 16 to go until half-time.
Oh, it's always a game on here. But I was talking to someone during the week, and I said, well, all I can say is Warwick are in the chance in this game here, being a Sunday. If it was a Saturday night after Oakey coming off a win last week, it'd be all sorts of troubles. But anyhow...
It's a restart taken by Taylor. Gives it on to Big Torps. He takes it. And you get up. He wants me to call him Torps. He has given me his surname, which I can't pronounce. Comes back out to Pallavi, who's been strong in his first half. He's played the whole 25 minutes. And as has Johnny Mailer, so they've rotated their front row. Out it comes to Taylor, and a bit of a knock on there. Dummy half by John Pallavi. Ash Taylor not too happy with that as well. Ooh, gee, you get these periods leading up to breaks here, and the momentum had been going and going and going with Oakey. They had control of this match, and now they're handing it over to Warwick, and you can't do it against sides like Warwick, can you, Gary?
No, you can't, and, the coach will be onto this, and we're seeing we've got a 5'8" going into second row. We've got a hooker going back to lock as they normally do. Speed goes in there, but Ben Sullivan's first receiver, and they've got a wide area.
Just watch speed here, mate. Jack, he's put the ball in, comes out to Ben Sullivan, onto Brandon McGrady, out to Tom Bell. He's tackled by Tony Clevin, who's been good today. They come across, out it comes to Harry Sullivan. Gets it back into his brother Ben. Ben nearly getting a obstruction. He stops it and got a 1-on-1 strip. No, he'll get there. Benny Sullivan plays it to his brother Harry, onto Brandon McGrady, onto Charlie Christensen. Tries to spin out, gets a beautiful ball out to Harry Sullivan. He's going to score by himself. No, good scrambling defence by Oakey. Ash Taylor throws Harry Sullivan's headgear down the field. They go across. Out it comes to Ben Sullivan. Back inside. Gives it out to Dan Conn. Dan Conn only 5 metres out. Good defence so far from Oakey. 13 to go until half-time. Warwick up. Here's Benny Sullivan. Does he score? He's very close. He tripped over. Fifth and last. Sullivan out to Brandon McGrady. Kicks for the in goal. I think the ball's going to beat them. And it does. So a good defensive set of 6 there by Oakey as Dylan Chown takes it up. He taps it on his 20. And away he goes. That is clever stuff from the experienced Dylan Chown there, Gary.
Yeah, look, it was. And they caught the Warwick Cowboys napping a bit there. But I was very disappointed in their final play there. I thought McGrady's kick was poor. That's his second poor kick on the last. And the other one was where they kicked straight into the hands of someone. And then he's done a poor kick there. There wasn't a way to finish that set of 6 off. But Oakey over here now.
That's right. Marcus Spence taking it into Warwick territory, about third or fourth. Comes out to Richard Murray. They've got a spring in their step, Oakey. They're playing better than they did the first 10 minutes. 13 to go until half time. It's 10 points to 8. Warwick over Oakey. Oakey gets the ball. It's on the fifth and last. Cleven puts a midfield bomb up. Sets himself Pollock. He takes it on the full. And he's put down on his 20-metre line, Gary Lawrence.
Yeah, look, it was a great take there by Pollock. He went in there. No respect for his body, and Spence went in hard and was trying to get the ball loose, but we see Asu getting up, quick play the ball.
Yeah, Warwick haven't had the ball for a while except for that set of 6 down there, which Oakey starved their momentum, that's for sure, as they come through. They come back out here to Jake Speed. Speed takes it to the 50-metre line. He's met by a wall of Bears defenders. 12 minutes until half-time. 10-8. Warwick are up over Oakey. Cody Byrne takes it forward. Justin gets the ball out to Mitch Wilson. Wilson gives it out to the 14 in Jaden Newbold. His first touch. He'll get up to play it. Sullivan out to Brandon McGrady, kicks for his wide men, goes back to Alistair Cameron. He knocks it backwards, it grabs the ball and comes back 10 metres in front of his goal post. 11 minutes until half time. It's 10 points to 8. Warwick over Oakey as Oakey bring it out of their end zone. Oh, good tackle. They drop it there and there's a knock back. I think he called play the ball there. Was it for Charlie Adams?
Yeah, look, Ash Taylor's just talking to the referee and asking, was it assisted out there? And I think you'll find that he's saying that they lost the ball, but Ash Taylor's still got the ball in his hand, so they may not have...
We'll see what happens here. We don't know who's going to have possession. All the forwards are going to pack a scrum. We don't know who's going to put it in. Ash Taylor's got the ball. That's funny because actually Oakey had the ball. Why is it an Oakey feed, Gary?
They may have... Warwick may have had a hand in there and pulled it out in a forward direction.
Oh, right, I'm with you. Okay, so Ash Taylor puts the ball in the scrum, taken out from the scrum, gives it to Marcus Spence. Spence gets it, and he's met there by Tom Bell, Dan Conn, and also Brandon McGrady. He'll get up to play it. They get up to play it. They take it forward. John Mailer, been a bit flat-footed in the runs he's had today. He's usually very, very effective if he gets back off the back fence and comes through. They go across out to Finay Fienga, the skip, the customary skip. He gets into the field of play. They're not to the 50-metre line. Taylor gets it out to Pallavi. He's tackled underneath there by Ben Sullivan, over the top by Charlie Christensen. Taylor, but down the sideline, he finds Charlie Adams, but the ball was forward, and it did look a little bit forward, Gary, didn't it? The crowd disagreeing. We were right here. What was your take on it, Gary?
Yeah, look, I think it came out of his hands, and he was trying to get it go backwards, but it did travel forward once it came out of his hands. But he's done this on 3 occasions now where he's made the winger stand out here, and Charlie Adams has had to stand on the sideline because he got around Speed, and Speed knew he was beat for speed, and he just stopped.
He sure did.
You know, but they've got an Oakey player down here. Whether he's done a ACL or something, they're looking at the...
No, it's his knee. It's Finay Fienga's down there, and probably couldn't come at a better time for Oakey. 9 minutes until half time. It is Warwick 10, Oakey 8 here, Gary. I don't know, mate. You know, like, I'm an old winger, mate. I never went inside my wing. I'd always had the winger on the inside me, and I was on here in a defensive mode, because the story is that the covering defence will come.
Well, you can only hope, but, you know, he's Charlie Adams has now got on the outside on 2 occasions, Jake Speed. So Jake's a big body now, and he's got to make sure he doesn't give ground away.
Okay, Ben Sullivan to feed the Warwick Fed scrum on the 42-metre line. Warwick with the ball. They're up by 2. Brandon McGrady gets it back inside to, I think that's Rara Bavavu. He'll play the ball. Out to Dan Conn. Go across. Newbold at dummy half. Goes himself. And Thurles awake to him, and he's tackled just inside Oakey territory. Out to Ben Sullivan. On to Charlie Christensen. Gee, she's a bit of a contest at the moment, Gary. She's slowed down the game, hasn't it?
It has indeed.
Sullivan, out it comes. Out to McGrady. McGrady back inside to Cody Byrne, who just sort of waltzed up there rather than the intensity early in the match. So she's been pretty physical out there. Newbold. Out it comes to Brandon McGrady. Gets out of one tackle. Back inside to Pollock. He gets it out to Tommy Bell. He's got space. Can he score by himself? No, he's short. He'll play the ball. Warwick on the attack. Only a metre out. Comes out. Gets it out to Brandon McGrady. On to Dan Conn. He straightens up. He's met there by Mailer. He'll get up to play. They're up by 2. Warwick comes it out onto Ben Sullivan. Dummies for 1. Goes himself. Can he score himself? He's very close. Gets the ball across to Cody Byrne. Great scrambling defence by Oakey. They'll play the ball, Warwick. Warwick up by 2. Newbold at dummy half. Gets a cross out to a rampaging Dan Conn, and he's met there. Great tackling there by Finay Fienga. And also in there was Mailer. Out it comes to Mitch Wilson. He beats 1. Gets it on to Thomas Bell. And he's tackled there by Marcus Spence. Gee, great stuff. Or has he scored, Marcus Spence? Yep. Yes, he has. Oh, no, it was not Marcus Spence. It was...
he was defending Marcus Spence.
Defending. I think it was... Brandon McGrady. I just can't see that, but gee, it just looked like they were back from that try line. So Warwick have scored 14-8. Gee, they had to work hard for that try, didn't they, Gary?
Yeah, look, they did, and they've changed their team around a fair bit, and they've got Newbold. He's on dummy half, so they've got him at dummy half. They've got Ben Sullivan on the right side now. Here he's working in there, but Ising, he's made a big tackle on Mitch Wilson there, and he's both of them went down heavily after Mitch Wilson unloaded the ball to the Warwick player there, but Ising's down, and they've got him up now, but he's not looking too flash at the present time, Obi.
No, he's just in front of the goalpost there. 7 minutes to go until half-time. 14-8 it is. Oakey over...
And is Ben Sullivan getting a right hamstring taped up now?
Yeah. You get a lot of stop with a lot of players getting attention in this match so far. Gary, 12-0 Valleys over Pittsworth. 14-0 Gatton over Highfields. Around the grounds. We'll go across to Kelvin down there at Carl Park at half-time. They're about on the same minutes as us.
The Warwick side, they look good when they come to this right-hand side with Charlie Christensen, he's got a lot of ability to play the ball. They look more promising when they come and run off him or an inside ball to but I'd like to see him go at Oakey's A and B defenders and bring Pollock inside past there. That's where they've got to really start working their players over with Lepau. He needs to get some runners on the inside.
Yeah, here's Pollock. 10 metres left of the upright. 20 metres back, and he makes no mistake. So the score after 34 minutes of play is Warwick 14, Oakey 8. So I think that try scorer was Brandon McGrady. He's the bloke who got the ball, you reckon, Gary? Who do you reckon scored it, Joe?
Thomas Bell.
Thomas Bell, yes, actually it was Tom Bell, yeah.
They've got the same colour hair, haven't they? Yeah. One's red, one's black.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because I was
black
only
hair.
looking at Morgan Spence, and they're two tough cookies, and they're both on that left side, so it makes sense, and congratulations to Tom Bell. Here's a restart. Comes back to Ben Sullivan. He's got Cody Byrne, who's played the whole half. He takes it forward, gets over his 20-metre line. 5 to go in the first half. 16-8 it is Warwick over Oakey. That's a Ben Sullivan onto Charlie Christensen. He's hitting a heavy tackle there by Richard Murray and also Ash Taylor. He'll get up to play it. Newbold gets it out to Lepau. Good defence again by the same pair, Taylor and Richard Murray. Out it comes onto the big 17 in EJ Tatupu. He's been impressive. Got a player of the match in one of our games in the first 7 rounds. Big hit there by Taylor on Charlie Christensen. Charlie Christensen up to the 20-metre line inside Oakey territory. He'll play the ball for Warwick. They're on the roll at the moment. Out to Dan Conn. He's taken a good tackle there by Thurl. He'll get up to play it in front of the sticks. New ball goes to Brandon McGrady. He shows it back inside to Thomas Bell. Oh, gee, ankle tackle there by Dylan Chown. They go across to the left. Out it comes to Rara Lababu. He gets to about 10 metres out on that far side for Warwick. They spin it across. Out it comes to Pollock. Pollock gives it out to Brandon McGrady. Short pass out to Newbold. Oh, he tried to give it out to Dan Kong. The ball went out and it came out into Johnny Mailer's hands, and Oakey's got it, but now a one-on-one steal by Ben Sullivan, and he's going to score. He's going to score there for Warwick. It was a one-on-one steal against Charlie Adams. Wow, what a coach's nightmare that is, Gary. And 4 minutes before half-time, it's 20 points to 8, Warwick over Oakey with the kick to come right in front, Gary.
Yeah, look, and that'd be disappointing. You know, that's got to hurt the Oakey team in total. You know, they'd worked, they defended so well there. You know, Christensen down this right-hand side, and then they've gone back into the middle. And they've really, they were starting to make Warwick think about who's coming at them. And now, you know, that one-on-one steal by Ben Sullivan, he's very crafty. He's sort of just sitting on that edge, playing that halfback's role there that most players do. But, you know, he's on the right-hand side. And I see that they've moved Lepau to the right-hand side as a centre. So it's Christensen and
Benny Sullivan's playing 5'8", isn't he?
Yeah,
well, that's right.
He's playing halfback and McGrady's on. Well, either way, McGrady's on the left side and Ben's on the right side, and that's so they're really working hard.
But it's just. There's only been about 3 or 4 mistakes by Oakey, but Warwick have let them pay as Pollock puts it over the middle, and that makes it 22 points to 8 with 2 minutes to go until half-time, Gary.
Yeah, look, it's this is a very telling point. You know, the last 10 minutes of any game of each half, you don't want to give points up, and they did, and I know they were very disappointed about that. And but now they've got to clear all their heads, get on with it, kick down there. Don't kick to the same side. Kick to the other side and make them work it out.
Here's Cleven, kicks it downtown. Ben Sullivan sits himself. He tries to pad it with his left boot. The ball jumped up and down, and it was enough time for Oakey just to think as Ash Taylor, he gets Cody Byrne and lifts him up like a rag doll, and he plays the ball 5 metres out from his own line, Warwick. So Oakey, a great restart by them. Can they do something this last 2 minutes? Out it comes back. Out it comes out to EJ Tatupu. He takes it forward to Settler. He hasn't been on long. He gets up to play it. They go across to the right-hand side of Cody Byrne. He meets Finay Fieng. The crowd like that one. Out it comes to Charlie Christensen, and he rotates back out. Some big hits there by Oakey. They go across in the last 30, 40 seconds of the first half. Let's not do anything drastic here, Oakey, but they are finishing off this half. Very good. Here's a 5th and last. Good set of 6 by Oakey. Gives it back. They want the ball played again, which has stopped their momentum. 23 seconds until halftime. Brandon McGray just kicks it downtown, down the throat of Tony Cleven, who's playing fullback. He brings it back. He'll probably only have one ruck maybe for Oakey. 10 seconds to go. Charlie Adams, and it's a penalty to Oakey, with Warwick being called offside with that follow-through. It's half-time here. The hooter will go, but we've got the penalty here. So Tony Cleven's going to kick for us on touch here. What's Taylor got up his sleeve, or is he just going to try and make it into half-time?
I'd be trying to get a simple play. Don't turn the ball over. And, I'd be just kicking the touch.
They swing it wide. Here's Cleven. Kicks it forward. Chown, he got to get the right bounce. It bounces up. And there's a couple of knock-ons there, but it's a penalty here because the Luke Pollock was taken out accidentally, actually, I thought, but he was taken out. The penalty's correct in my mind. So now it's Warwick. Gary, your thoughts?
Yeah, look, that was a 100% call, and that's where I said, they don't need to do anything dumb, and it could have been bad for them there, and now they've given the ball back, and we'll see what Warwick do here, because they won't die wondering either, some of these players in the Warwick side.
Magpies 30 points to 22 over Clydesdales at Clive Burkoffer Stadium. And the first 10 minutes of the second half. Here's Sullivan, Ben that is, and he throws it into touch. And that was an anticlimax for the end of that half. We'll take a break and we'll come back and we'll go around the grounds and summarise this first half here at the Trevor Mickleborough Oval in the Hutchison Builders play match of the round on Power FM.
The Morning Drive with Fiona and Jeff. Weekdays from 6 a.m. on Power FM 88 Toowoomba and powerfmradio.com.au.
Hutchies is a local construction company building local jobs. We're proud to have built many of our local landmarks and award-winning projects in all sectors, such as Downlands College, Burnoth Centre, both Bunnings, Empire Theatre and Toowoomba Library. Together with our local trusted subcontractors and suppliers, we share a common loyalty and passion for delivering quality outcomes for our clients. Follow us on www.facebook.com/Hutchies Toowoomba to see our current projects, employment opportunities and our community involvement.
Clive Burkoffer Land Sales sells residential land direct to the public, and by purchasing direct from the developer, you save money. Clive has developed over 10,000 residential blocks of land over the past 50 years. At any one time, there are a number of subdivision plans to choose from, and prospective purchasers are invited to register their interest on a waiting list. There is no obligation or deposit payable, and you will be contacted when the land development is completed and the lots are ready to sell. For further information on current and future developments, please contact us 07 4633 0555 or visit our website www.cliveburkoffer.com.au.
Oh, another safety inspection? Smoke alarms? Fire extinguishers? Test and tag? Who has time for this?
Never fear! Checkmate Safety is here!
Wait, you handle all of it?
Yep, we manage your safety so you can manage your business.
That's a checkmate for me.
Checkmate Safety. Find us on Facebook or at checkmate.net.au.
Over to the TRL call team for the Hutchies Toowoomba Rugby League match of the day.
Yeah, welcome back. It is half time here at Trevor Mickleborough Oval, and we are around the grounds here. Let's first go to Valleys Pittsworth. Alan Fitzgerald, what's happening over there, mate? Who's playing well, mate? Sala Malamiko, yes, he's a very good player, mate. He's going well, eh? Over to you, Kelvin, at Gatton, mate. What's happening down there in the Battle of the Birds? And who do you like in Highfields there, Kelvin? Back to you. Back to you, Fitzy out there. Who's apart from what's happening at Valleys, who's impressed you from Pittsworth? Are they having a bit of a dig?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they've been playing it through the forwards a fair bit, and they're having a real go. We scored a couple of lucky tries early, and then got some good tries later. Mitchell Clem got a great try, but Blake Cullen and Cooper Boyer and Nicholas Nairn, they've been having a real dig.
So the score there at half-time there again, Fitzy?
22-4. There's a little short fella, a little young-looking fella here, David Woodbridge. Would he be a brother of Tish Woodbridge from Dolby?
He certainly is. He's playing half-back for Pittsworth.
Pittsworth, yeah, he's doing some nice things.
Yeah, thanks very much, Fitzy. We may speak at the end of the game. Back to you, Kelvin. I had you on mute there for a moment, mate. What's happened down there, mate?
Yeah, it's 22-0 to Gatton at half-time. They're just coming back out for the second half. As I said, Highfield's intent on playing it in Gatton territory. Plenty of kicking from Highfield. Second and third tackles. And Gatton probably not up to, they're going through the motions, shall I say. They've scored some good tries and a great individual try just before. Not only a short distance one, but the work that Travis Turnbull did to score was great. And as I said, Tommy Lerman in the bin at the moment. He went over for a try. And I don't think the referee ruled no try, and I don't think Tommy agreed with him, shall I say.
There we go, mate. All right, mate. We'll talk to you at the end of the game.
Righto, mate. We're just about to blow the whistle here for the second half.
What are you in the middle? Have you got a whistle in front of you there, mate?
Yeah. Here it goes now. Listen. Do you hear that? Away we go.
You're a legend, mate. Okay, mate. Thanks very much, fellas. Bye-bye. Yeah, so welcome back here, Gary Lawrence, and probably no surprises in those other games here, but it's all similar scores. 22 points to 8 here, Warwick over Oakey, 22 points to 4, Valleys over Pittsworth, and 22-0. It's a 22-point-a-thon at the moment at half-time in the Toowoomba Rugby League.
Yeah, look, and it's not saying that there've been poor games. There's been some great defence from both sides. There's been some big hits, and there's been plenty of speed. So, we're looking good here. I think, Oakey need just to get their team together, have a quick chat. They're big bodies, so let's go down the ground for a quick play of the ball. But Warwick are getting them on their backs. They're turtling them, they're getting them on their backs, and they're too slow playing the ball, and therefore they can't get the momentum they need to do. But you see Charlie Christensen, on the other hand, for Warwick, he always finds his front. Dan Conn's been finding his front. It allows a quick play of the ball, and then the dummy halves can get in underneath. I think as the game goes on, it'd be interesting to see which side works out the A and B defenders, because there's some lazy defenders in the A and B on both sides at the moment, whether that's fatigue or whether it's injuries, but there's some lazy A and B defenders, so it'd be interesting to see. And both sides have got Pollock on one side and Chown on the other side, who, if they come through supporting those big bodies on the inside, there'll be some great attacking plays opening up here.
Yeah, for me, Gary, it's been just the crucial mistakes at crucial times here. Young Adams made 2 really bad mistakes that resulted in tries. The one-on-one strip for Ben Sullivan on him was just soul-searching. But Oakey showed me enough that they can get back into this game. And Warwick went missing a bit there in a couple of Oakey raids there, but it's generally been Warwick's half, wasn't it?
Yeah, look, it has, and you're right. They show a lot of ability this side. They've got big bodies in the middle, but even on the centres there with Spencer and that, they're big bodies. They work hard. I just don't know whether they're getting enough direction around the 6 and 7 for Warwick to put them as a premiership threat. If they get their 6 and 7 organised and get them organised in the games and in their structures right, they'll be right up to it. They've got some very good players, but I've just been a bit disappointed. Maybe it's because they're moving people around and it's early still in the season, it's round 7. But, by this time of the year, you should be able to run their players. And like Coach Speed didn't take them over to the dressing sheds. He didn't want them near anyone. He got them behind the Oakey Beef export sheds that they've put over there for both sides. The visitors and Oakey sides. It's a great thing, keeps the players away from the supporters at times, because they home side can always be vocal. It doesn't matter whether it's Oakey, Gatton, Warwick, wherever they play. Home sides are always vocal. But I just don't know whether we're seeing enough direction from this Warwick side to say that they're going to upset Gatton when they play them.
Yeah, so both sides are just out on the field now. Warwick taking a bit more time than Oakey. Warwick will be kicking and defending the scoreboard end. They're up by 14, 22 points to 8. So they'll kick to restart the second. I like this referee. I don't know what his name is. He's very astute. Kick it downtown. It's not the best to kick. Hewitt has to go back. Luckily, it bounced right back into his arms. Cam Hewitt, the bench player for Oakey, and he's tackled about the 28-metre line there as they bring it forward. Thurl, who starts the second half, he gets over the 30-metre line. He'll get up to play for Oakey. Kennedy at dummy half, who was injured early in the match. I think he went off a bit, but he's back on now. Finney, who's been effective when he has been. Put in a couple of big hits on the opposition. He'll get up to play it. Kennedy goes from dummy half onto Marcus Spence, who's been one of their best. He gets inside Warwick territory just. So a good set of 6 so far from the Bears to start the second half. On to Johnny Mailer. That's the way we like him. He gets back and he makes valuable yards. Gets to the 20-metre line. This is a fifth and last. Just where they want him. He is clever and he kicks it high, right towards the post. Very accurate. Sets himself Pollock, takes it nicely. House a chase from the Bears. It's very good. And they will tackle him 5 metres from Warwick try line. Just what the doctor ordered for the Bears, Gary. Yeah,
look, it was a great set of 6 for them. They put it under pressure there. It was a very high kick, but I've just noticed that Pollock's up to it. And they may need to see if it goes on the ground for them. But he's coming up the field here.
Warwick, 3 rucks here and over there, nearly to the halfway already. Here's Jake Speed's second ruck. So he's done very well there, those 2 wingers, that's for sure. They ring it from dummy half, Newfold. Takes it up, gets inside 40 metres inside Oakey territory. He'll get up to play it. Pollock. Gets it back out to McGrady, puts it up. Tony Cleven takes it nicely. He goes to ground 15 metres from his own line. A clinical set of 6 there by the Cowboys. They're up by 22 points to 8. We've had 41 minutes of play, 1 minute into the second half. 2 sets of 6. Here's Marcus Spence. And we've got offside.
It was always offside.
It always
and the
was
referee
offside,
called it.
Was Newfold. And takes it back there as referee says, okay, Oakey's got the penalty. Richard Kennedy kicks for touch. Robert Kennedy, sorry.
Probably John F. Kennedy by the end of the game.
You never know. Here's Joey Alberts makes and he loses the ball, knocked it on. He nearly got
Great
through.
tackle.
Just didn't get onto it. Was it Charlie Christensen there? And the mistakes just keep happening for Oakey. All right, so they're just not in this match at the moment if they're going to make those mistakes against quality sides like Warwick, Gary.
Yeah, look, and I think Brandon McGrady's got to go away from kicking high. He needs to turn this Oakey side around. Yep. Get them to the corners because they're big bodies and they're starting to walk. And that kick he put up high, it was a great kick.
Yep.
But they were coming back slow. And there was 2 players. It took 2 plays to get back on side. It needs to be longer and deeper.
Here they go. Pollock nearly makes a break. He's tackled there by Thurl in the end. Or Hewitt it was with Chown there. Thomas Bell has been good. He gets inside the 40-metre line, inside Oakey territory. He'll get up to play it. Newbold. Comes up to EJ Tatupu. Takes it out. It comes out to Cody Byrne. And he loses the ball, jolted out of him, and Ash Taylor gets the ball, gets it back out to Charlie Adams.
John Palavi had a hand in that. It was a great tackle there on Cody Byrne.
It certainly was. So the first mistake by the Cowboys is Cam Hewitt makes a break. He comes through the mustached, the Mr. Mustache of TRL. He gets to the 50-metre line. He gets up to play it. He's hurt his shoulder. Comes back out to Marcus Spence. And a high tackle there. A high tackle there by the 10.
McGrady. McGrady.
Something happened here. Referee had no hesitation to stop the clock.
McGrady and
Thomas Bell.
Yeah, they both were in the tackle. But That's the second time Spencer has got the ball running on hard. Like he's a great player. Like he's a great pickup for this Oakey side.
Yeah, so the ref just saying, keep it down, fellas, as Thomas Bell goes back with his captain, Brandon McGrady. And a kick for touch, Kennedy. And Oakey will have the ball on Warwick's 20-metre line. They need a try. Out it comes to John Mailer. 10 metres out from Warwick line. They go across. Long pass out to Chown. Chown gives it to Finay Fianga on the bust. He's 15 metres out, right in front of Warwick's post. 22-8 they're down. Oakey with the ball. Kennedy gives it out to Taylor. Long flat pass to Joey Alberts. This time he beats one. Gee, seems to beat that first tackle. A go left to Cleven. Cleven on to Charlie Adams, and he's only metres away. But a penalty there against Warwick. I can't see what the read is there, Gary.
Yeah, like with it there, they've come across, and Jake Speed got caught in there, and then Schuster's had to come in for a tackle. But Ash Taylor's just letting the referee know where he wants the scrum. But
I thought it was a penalty, but it's going to be a scrum. And a Warwick feed by the looks of it, Gary.
Yeah, but I
think the pass was forward over there, Gary. Don't you reckon?
It was.
Yeah.
But Jake Speed's got caught twice in. He come in for a hit, and then he got caught in at marker, and Schuster's had to get out there. So they need to be careful with that.
Here's the scrum. Out it comes to Pollock. Beats one, gets through, scrambles up to the 30-metre line.
Oakey got to play
down. I think both they're down. They had a bit of a head clash there. So something's happened between Charlie Adams and Luke Pollock.
Yeah.
Or was a penalty because of a shoulder? Yes, by Charlie Adams.
Schuster's not looking that flash over the far side there. He's carrying that shoulder he hurt in the first half.
Yeah, that's right.
So if I'm Oakey, go at him. Go at him on his right shoulder. Don't go at him on his left shoulder. Make him tackle you on that right shoulder. It's hurt. You see, you can't even throw the ball.
Yeah, Lapau. Yeah, you're right there, Gary.
Go after him now, Oakey.
On the 50-metre line for Warwick. 22-8, they're in front. Out it comes to Cody Burns, being about their best today. Get up to the 40-metre line. He'll get up to play it. Made one mistake, that's all. But he's played the whole minutes. Comes across out to Dan Conn. Dan Conn gets inside the 30-metre line in Oakey territory. They're up by 14. Newbold gets it out to Charlie Christensen, who's been good. Beats one, beats another. He just tripped over Finay Fianga. Quick play the ball. Newbold out to McGrady. McGrady gets a long ball out to Pollock. Out it comes out to Rara Lavavu, and he's tackled 1 metre from the line. Pollock, a quick ball out to EJ, and the ball was passed, and EJ got up to do the celebration, and the ball was forward, and good refereeing because it was called straight away, wasn't it? We've had 7 minutes of play in the second half. It is Warwick 22-8 over Oakey, Gary.
Yeah, look, and we were talking about Cody Burns playing the full 80 minutes. Well, they've just replaced him, and Mitch Wilson's come on. I see over the other side, Ben Sullivan's getting treatment over behind the sheds there, and Harry Sullivan's got his head taped up. So he's been obviously split.
So it's a tape-a-thon at the moment. Round the grounds, 38-28. Magpies over Clydesdales after Clydesdales got within 30 points to 28. And they've got about 15 minutes left in that Host Plus Cup. As they bring it out, Oakey after the scrum feed there. They'll get up to play it. They're about 10 metres out from their own line, and they lose the ball again, Oakey. So they're their own worst enemy. Gee, it's not the Oakey we saw last week. Warwick comes out to EJ Tatupu. He'll play the ball 15 metres out from Oakey line. Newbold comes out to Lapau. Lapau tackled 10 metres out from Oakey line. He'll get up to play it. He's just to the right of the uprights. Newbold comes out to Mitch Wilson, decides to go himself and gets very close, and he's pulled back there by John Pallavi. He'll get up to play it right in front of the post. Out to Brandon McGrady. Dummies once, goes again. Does he go close? He does. He does better than go close. He scores a try, and that all was too easy for me there, Gary, on the back of mistake after mistake after mistake from the Bears. It is 26 points to 8, Gary.
Yeah, look, and that's what you can't afford to do. If you're behind, you can't afford to turn the ball over cheaply, and then you've got to defend it. And they're not defending their mistakes. And, you know, they're not far away from being a premiership threat, but they've got to look up, and they've all got to if they make a mistake, they've got to own it and get on with it and fix it, because that's what they're not doing. They make a mistake and then they don't defend it well enough, this Oakey side. But it'll come with them. Mm-hmm. It will come with age and as they get better. But, you know, I'd just like to see this Warwick side, who's steering them around, because I don't see them steered around the ship as good as I've seen them in past. And, you know, if they can get their act together, they could do quite well in this competition. But Oakey have taken it to them, maybe, you know. The score's probably getting away, but that will come back to making mistakes in your own area and giving a side like Warwick opportunities.
Yeah, well, here's Luke Pollock. He's 10 metres to the right of the upright, 15 metres back. We've had 10 minutes of play in the second half. This will make it 28 points to 8. Pollock sets himself. Yeah, Warwick, not too bad. They made a few mistakes, but Oakey have successfully at times, and that kick is unsuccessful from a relatively easy position. So
he's hit the upright there and just spun off it, and it's still bouncing backwards and forwards the blue goalpost side flag.
And so the score remains 26 points to 8 round the grounds. It is 22 points to 8 Valleys over Pittsworth early in the second half, and 28-0 Gatton over Highfields after being 22-0 at half-time there. It was 22 points to 4 at half-time, Valleys over Pittsworth. Here's Oakey with the restart. We've had 10 minutes of the second half. Kicks it downtown, Tony Cleven. Oh, knocked on there by Jakey Speed. He's not having the best of games, is young Jake. He's had a good season up to date, but he's just been a bit clunky today here, Gary, hasn't he?
He has indeed, you know, and he's been stood up a couple of times, but he'd be very disappointed in himself doing that. You know, from a kick-off, there's nothing worse. You know, you score a try, it's the next set that you've got to control. After scoring at points, you've got to control that next set. And he turns it over. Now they're under the pump here, 20 metres out.
Well, we'll see what Taylor can do. They need a couple of quick tries that'll make him within 6. So here we go with Oakey. They've got the feed 10 metres out from Warwick's line.
Go to the right-hand side here and then hit Brady.
Gives it out to Robert Kennedy. Spins. Tries to get away from Thomas Bell. He'll get up to play it. Tony Cleven. Out it comes to Chown. He's about 5 metres out from Warwick line. He'll get up to play it. Marcus Spencer, dummy half. Gets it out to Johnny Mailer. Bounces off one. He goes close. They really had a crack there. He'll get up to play it. I don't think they've held it for a whole set of 6 Oakey in this second half. Out it comes to Taylor. He tried to flick it on, and it was touched by Jack Speed and is knocked on there as well, but he nearly got away. I won't sort of say that's a mistake from Jake Speed, but it was a flick pass as Ash Taylor was nearly tackled, and he tapped it on out to Joey Alberts, and Jake Speed nearly got it, and he was nearly just about to make amends for his knock-on in the restart. 26 points to 8 it is Warwick over.
Johnny Mailer's down over this right-hand side.
Over Oakey. It was a pretty heavy clash there when he went close to scoring there in the previous set of 6.
Yeah, look, if I'm Oakey, you know, I'm going after Brendan McGrady. His knees heavily taped. Go at him and go on his inside, because Pollock's over the other side, and, you know, that's where they're vulnerable. This is the left-hand side. I think that's where they're going to be most vulnerable, because the points have come on the outside of Ra Buvala.
Yep.
And Mailer's going off. That'll be a big blow for this Oakey side. That left knee is strapped, but he's coming off here now.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. 46 points to 28 now. South Logan Magpies over the Clydesdale, scoring a couple of tries in as many minutes there at Clyde Berghofer Stadium. So we've got a Oakey feed again, about 15 metres out from Warwick line. 26 points to 8. They are down, Oakey. We've got 28 minutes remaining in this match. They pack the scrum. In it comes. Kennedy gives it out to Chown, out to Marcus Spence. Tackled by Rara Labavu. He'll get up to play it. Chown out to Kennedy. On to Torps. Torps, hang on to the ball, son. They've had 2 sets of 6 on the line here. Here's Kennedy. Back inside to Fine Fianga. Can he bounce in? And he bounces in for a try, does the big fella Skip. They nickname him the Fridge, don't they? They certainly does. And he's 6x4 by 6x4 just about, isn't he? So that's a great try. He scored a similar try last week, did the Fridge. And we'll see what happens here. A couple of mistakes there. And it is 26 points to 12. Warwick over Oakey, Gary.
Yeah, look, and that's where I've been trying to say, they've got to go to this right-hand side, McGrady's side, but it wasn't McGrady that made the mistake. Spencer's hammered him on that right side, then they've gone back, and then they've come back out here. As you said, the Fridge has got it, and he's just steamrolled them. And, I think that's the side that's let tries in for the Warwick Cowboys, is Rabal, and that side have defended poorly.
Yes, they have, mate, and I agree with you, mate.
Spencer's going to make a hole in them if they can hold the ball for 6.
Especially
and get him
late
and
in the match.
Yeah, get him and Chown together. They'll cause a lot of problems here. Ash Taylor's got to work out how he can get the side down that end of the field, take him to the left-hand side and come back this right-hand side and put pressure on the Warwick's left-hand side defence. 14-point
ball game here. And we've just had 2 unconverted tries by Oakey. And they've just scored now. If they kick this goal, it'll make it a 12-point ball game. 26-14. It's 26-12 at the moment with 26 minutes remaining. Approaching full time there at Clive Burkoffer Stadium. South Logan Magpies 46-28 over Clydesdales. Charlie Adams, he's about 15 metres to the right of the upright. He comes in and stabs it straight over. It was a low kick, but effective. And that makes a score 28 points to 14, Gary.
Yeah, look, and this will be how their season will go. It'll be judged by how they've scored points. They've made it 6, not 4, made 6 points. Now they've got to hold this for 6 and then kick long to the corners.
Yeah.
And then get up quick and don't give a penalty away.
That's right. Here's a restart by Pollock. Goes down, taken by Chown. He's got the try score of Fine Fianga. The Fridge goes through. Gee, he can be, when he's used right, Fianga, he can play well, can't he, Gary?
He can indeed, and he's got plenty of ability, and that's what they've got to remember.
Well, there's still plenty of time left, so they could probably rest him in ringing on for the last 10 minutes, but he's doing the work now as Kennedy gets up limping. Clevin at dummy half, onto young Jamin Thurl. Gets over his 40-metre line, so the first 2 hit-ups are pretty good for Oakey. Now it comes from Kennedy, goes himself from dummy half, gets inside Warwick territory, and we've got a penalty to Oakey.
And that's what Oakey need, They've worked hard, they've kept control, they've gone up through the middle, they've got their bigger boys doing the work. Now they need to kick, find touch, and then not kick back behind yourself, but find touch, they've found touch. Now they've got to work it over to the centre, go back to the scoreboard side, and then play this right-hand side.
But the key is on both these sides is hanging onto the ball. And we've seen some pretty poor mistakes from both sides through this match as they bring it forward. Out it comes to Gus Taylor. Back on the field. He gets 10 metres out from Warwick territory. Just down by 12 now. 24 minutes to go in the game. Plenty of time. Out it comes to Clevin. On to Marcus Spencer's been good. He beats Rara Lavu. And he's put into touch this time. Warwick were up to him because he's been danger all day. Spence has been for that left side of Warwick's defence, and they put him into touch, and we'll have a scrum feed or a play the ball in with Warwick having possession, just what they wanted, because I tell you what, I don't know, I think it's fairly hot out there, Gary. There's a lot of puffing and going on.
Oh, look, it's a very tough conditions, and it's Oakey's home game. It's Sunday afternoon, and they're working really hard here, but that was because Dylan Chown ran sideways and pushed him to the far side here, and he had no option. He could have flicked it back in, but ball control again. He kept it, Now they've got to defend this set of 6. Great defence there.
Let's have a look at those stats, mate, and I'll probably tell the story, mate, if you've got that. We'll just wait for a break and play. They come across. Out it comes to Wilson. Wilson gives it to Speed. Speed's held up just short of his halfway, Warwick. 26-14 Warwick lead Oakey. 22 minutes remaining. New bowl. Back it comes to Pollock. Pollock stabs down the middle of the field. Not the best at kick because it went right down the throat of Tony Cleven. He brings it out over his 30-metre line and is tackled by the kicker in Luke Pollock. He'll get up to play it. No, it wasn't. It was Jackson Lee Powell. And it comes to Alistair McCameron. We haven't seen much of him, but he gets over the 40-metre line. Bit more energy in Oakey than patches they had in the first half. And it comes to Kennedy. He dummies to Spence. He takes it himself and gets just inside Warwick territory. Chown out to Joey Alberts. Takes it and crawls it to the 40-metre line. He'll get up to play it. Nice play of the ball. Good pick up by Kennedy. Goes himself because Warwick are taking their time to get back on side. Bit of tough there by Gussie Taylor. He was hit there by Schuster. Here comes Torps. A great rampaging run. He's only 5 metres out. Oakey. Can they get another 4-pointer? Out it comes. Out to Chown. On to Taylor. He kicks for the in goal. Here's Joey Albert for his third. And he's going to score. Well, that was champagne Taylor stuff. And he's kicked in the in goal there. And I think they're just about back in this match, Gary Lawrence.
Yeah, look, they've worked hard and they've controlled the ball better. And the kicking game's been better this last 10 minutes. Where they've kicked, they've made sure we found the ground. Where I did say that I thought they needed to put the ball on the ground, see what Pollock can do with the ball on the ground. And that was along the ground. And obviously, he's got to get across the ground quicker and he's got to bend over. And the opportunity is then to come through and bustle him out of the way and get the ball. But
a good roll by the Bears. Smart thinking by them because those middle forwards in Warwick were just not getting back on side quick enough, were they, Gary?
No, they weren't. And Dan Conn had been called offside twice, and then he's had to stop and turn his back. And even if he is offside, he shouldn't turn his back because then they run behind him. But anyhow, he was called off to play twice, and the referee was straight onto it. So, look, we're seeing some great things by the referee, and it's good to see that we've got referees coming in and out of our competitions. And, you know, the Toowoomba Rugby League is very fortunate to have some great referees, but there's a rotation system going on where excess referees from Brisbane can come up and do 1 or 2 games. So, and ours can go at different areas and get their education in those areas.
26 points to 18 it is, with the kick being lined up here by Charlie Adams. We've had 20 minutes of play in the second half. This will make it a 6-point ball game. So it's an important kick by Adams. He's about 10 metres to the left of the upright, brought it back 20 metres. He sets himself. Doesn't kick it high, just stabs it, as Adams does. Stabs it again here, and over it goes. So it is 26 points to 20 here, Gary Lawrence. I think we've got a ball game on our hands, but again, what I've found is it started like we've had 60 minutes of play and we've had 46 points, Gary. So defence hasn't been the flavour. It's been a bit of a bash-a-thon if they can just go from here. Warwick have been a bit clunky. They haven't seen the ball for a while because it's been the last 2 tries have gone to Oakey. Here's a kick by Pollock. Goes downtown. Cleven sets himself. He finds Gus Taylor. He stops. You can't stop there, Gussie. And look what happened to him. He was put on his back there. He plays a ball just outside his 10-metre line. Cleven gets it out onto Thurl this time. He gets over his 15-metre line, over the 20-metre line to be exact. Kennedy gets it out to Torps. Torps gets over the 30-metre line. So he's going well. And holding down there is the penalty. You heard it in the background, Gary Lawrence.
Yeah, look, and they've quick tap there. Oakey have just taken a quick tap, and Robert Kennedy's made 15 metres there, and they're lucky not to get another penalty here.
So it's a go. So they take it forward, just answering a text that's come through. As Oakey They roll it down. They're again in the right place they want to be, deep in Warwick territory. We've had a lot of time there. 18 minutes to go. They're down by 6. Out it comes to Jamin Thurles. He goes straight away, straight hard. 10 metres out from the goalpost. Kennedy. Out it comes to Taylor. Taylor short pass onto Pallavi. Tries to spin out. Gives it back to Taylor. Taylor gives it onto Cleven. He jobs and reaves and eventually takes the ball to ground. This is the 5th and last. 6-point ball game. 18 to go. Warwick in front. Taylor into the in goal. It's set there and Jake Speed has to tap it over the gold line. The dead ball, and we'll have a gold line drop out here, Gary.
Yeah, look, and that's what they've got to do. They've got to be patient. You don't have to score off every play. And putting it on the ground, it makes the opposition think, can they get to it? So Warwick had to knock it dead there, and now they've got to restart. Will they go short? Will they back to defence here, Warwick? Or will they go long?
I'm not sure. Let's see how they go. Here's Pollock. He goes long. It's a big kick. It's over the 50-metre line. Cleven has to go back to his 40-metre line to get it. He gives it to Jamin Thurle. He winds up, goes forward, takes on Mitch Wilson, but Wilson puts him to ground with the help of Dan Conn. He'll get up to play. 26 points to 20 it is. Warwick over Oakey. They take it over a roll here. Oakey, they've stood up in the last 5 or 10 minutes. They've gone well. They're inside Warwick territory. They get it up again. Out it comes to Kennedy. Tell you what, each side would have earned the win no matter who wins this match. It's a ripper game it's developing into. Here's Pallavi. He dummies one way. Oh, nice try-saving tackle by Christensen. He'll get up to play at Pallavi. Kennedy goes to left onto Taylor, kicks it again into field goal. Here's Chown, and he scores the easiest of tries. Wow, they scored a similar try last week, and it is a 2-point ball game thanks to Ash Taylor, Dylan Chown combination like it was last week. What are you seeing here, Gary Lawrence?
Yeah, look, they've played it simple in the second half. They made some errors, but then their halfback's taken control. Ash Taylor, he's putting the ball on the ground, making the opposition think, or what are they going to do next, because they weren't successful in the first half going high and short. So they've just got to be patient now, and this next set of 6 will be the most crucial of Oakey's season, I think, this next set of 6. They've got to just get a good set of 6 out, kick to a corner, and don't make a mistake, and don't give a penalty away defending it.
Exactly right, but remember the last set of 6 here where the restart happened here. Warwick were in their face, and it was just that they laid down too long there, and the referee's been quite consistent on it there, Gary, and then they got a roll there, quick play of the ball. They did not kick for touch, and look what happened there. I do love the experience and the foresight of these experienced players like Taylor, Pallavi and Chown. You know, it is just tremendous to watch them really play. It's obviously a set move there, Gary. They just niggled on the left-hand side, niggled the left-hand side, and then Taylor, what a depth kick, just right in the in-goal area there, Gary, to make it 26 points to 24, 15 to go with the kick to come.
We're just seeing John Pallavi go to the sideline as well, so we hope that, you know, their back 3, you know, can get back on there. Like, I haven't seen Murray recently out there doing a lot for them, so Pallavi and Mailer, they're both off the park and they're going to miss them.
Is Murray out there at the moment, mate?
No, I can't see him out there.
Oh, what a turnaround out there at John McDonald Sporting Complex. Valleys were 22-0 up, and now it's a 2-point ball game, a similar game to ours, 22 points to 20 in Valleys Pittsburgh there, and they'd have similar time. So we've got a couple of cliffhangers in round 7 of the Hutchison Builders Toowoomba Rugby League competition, Gary.
Yeah, look, and it's great to see that the game could have gone away and it could have got very ugly for Oakey, but they stuck to it. They do simple things. They're changing people around here now.
Let's have a look at this kick here. It's about 15 metres to the left of the upright, 25 metres back. Charlie Adams to draw up the game. 15 to go. He comes in, stabs it, and over it goes. So it's 26 all. Under pressure, he's kicked those kicks, hadn't he, Gary?
Look, he has indeed, and you know, the Warwick side, Charlie Christensen, they've taken him off at the most crucial time, and you know, they're going to miss his input because they haven't been able to break break this Oakey side down in the second half. So
here's a
Pollard kicks off.
restart. We've got 14 minutes remaining. Oakey have had all the ball. They scored in the 53rd minute. We're now the 65th minute, so they've had it for probably the last 5 or 6 sets of 6, haven't they, Gary?
They have,
so
indeed.
It's important that Warwick just back themselves and just let it roll. So away they come. Out it comes to Chown. Chown looking for support. He goes himself, gets it over the 20-metre line. He'll get up to play it. Just the third hit up of this set of 6 from the restart. 26 all it is. Out to Cam Hewitt, the moustache. He gets over the 30-metre line. He'll get up to play it. He's nearly to the 40. Kennedy gets it onto Big Torps, a big front rower. He gets nearly to the 50-metre line. This is the 5th and last. A good defensive set of 6 so far by the Cowboys. Comes back to Taylor. Taylor kicks it wide for. Out it comes to Charlie Adams. He gives it back to Joey Alberts. He's already scored 3 tries. He's going to score his 4th. He goes onto the post and the crowd goes wild. 4 tries to Joey Alberts. It was champagne stuff there from Oakey, and they've hit the lead for the first time. It is 30 points to 26, Gary Lawrence.
Yeah, look, that can happen when you believe in yourself. And as I said, that next set of 6 after scoring 6 points is the most crucial part of the game. And we've gone from, 26 all to now in that next set of 6. Nice kick from Ash Taylor to the left-hand side. And then they caught it, they backed themselves, they ran. It was still the 5th and last because no one had interfered with it. They've caught it and they've shifted it there, and they've been able to go over to the left-hand side of the upright.
Yeah, they got it there, they kicked it. Charlie Adams got the ball. He did well to get it because there's a deliberate kick for Charlie Adams. But I suggested that Taylor said from kickoff, right, let's go 4, and I've got your number there, Charlie Adams.
Yep.
He's got the ball, come back, gave it to Joey Alberts, and hasn't he been tough to tackle? Because he beat 3 to score under the post, Gary.
He has indeed, and they've really worked hard that set of 6, and that's the most crucial time. It's not the 6 points you get prior; it's the 6 you defend or attack against next. And they showed that they can score tries after scoring tries. So back to back. Within 6 plays.
Yeah, well, for me it was 26-8 after 9 minutes in the second half. Warwick were in front. And look, I tell you what, even irrespective of the outcome of this match, we know what Oakey can do. They did the exactly same thing against Dalby last week. They had a long period
that was at Dalby.
And that was at Dalby, of starving the opposition of the ball. And haven't they done that well, Gary?
Yeah, they have indeed. And, they're all getting around each other. Yes, they're battered and bruised and limping around, but, they all want to get back on there.
Here's Charlie Adams right in front. And it's a 6-point ball game. It's 32 points to 26 here as well, Gary. And I tell you what...
Morgan Burns is back on. Harry Sullivan's back on. They've gone to the bench. Coach Speed has gone to the bench real quick here, trying to get some revitalisation of the players because they need something here.
Here's a restart from Pollock. It's a bit of a shorter kick, goes over. Is that out on the full? A real coach killer there. Wow. Gee, they just haven't had the ball there. Just again, they've got to believe in themselves. But they have a set of 6 there because they've been tackling fairly well. It's just been brilliant. It's beaten them in on their 5th tackle, Gary.
Yeah. And now what will Oakey do? Do they go back to that left-hand side, use the kick to finish it off, or do they hammer this right-hand side a bit more?
Well, I think what they've been doing is rolling well. They had the opportunity to kick to kick it out, but they take it forward. Gus Taylor, Harry Sullivan's back on to try and add some spark. Cody Burns back on as well, out to Torps. Just what the doctor ordered, if they can add some energy into the Cowboys lineup. Kennedy goes himself, tackled by Byrne and Sullivan, the fresh players on. They go left, out it comes to Taylor, back inside to Richard Murray. He's crucial in this last 10 minutes, an 80-minute player. Kennedy goes left, this is the 5th and last. Taylor stabs it again into the in-goal area and Speed again. He has to ground the ball in the in-goal area, and I suggest, how many times has that been?
Yeah, look, 3 times
Three
now.
times.
Yeah, a statistician over here, she's telling us.
How's our stats going there, Gary?
Yeah, look, we've had Warwick have received, in the first half, 4 penalties to Oakey 2 penalties. Second half, it swung around, and they've received 5 penalties, Oakey to Warwick's 2. So
Here's a short drop out here by Pollock. It goes up, and it's juggled backwards. I think it's knocked
Taken
on
in
and
the touch
touched
by Speed, is it?
by Oakey.
because I saw young Jake Speed go up over the top.
He did, but we'll see who's got the ball. So it, as far as the scrum is concerned, if Warwick's got the ball, it's the first time they have had the ball in ages. Yes, they play the ball here because what happened was that Alberts and Adams went up for the ball for Oakey. Speed was in there as well, and it came off, and Oakey hand and went into touch. So Warwick with the ball in a long time in ages as EJ goes forward. He'll get up to play it. They come across. Sullivan at dummy half. Makes valuable yards, nearly to the 50-metre line. He'll get up to play it. And a little careless drop of the ball by Harry Sullivan. As I've always said, Gary, if you've got the ball, you hold control there. So just what the doctor did not order with 8 minutes to go. 6-point ball game. Remember, Warwick have got to score twice to win the game, Gary.
Yeah, look, they have. And, you know, that was very poor from Harry. You know, he's a better player than that. And he put on by the coach to spark that enthusiasm. He got out of dummy half quick, but he's turned it over there. It might have been helped, but you've got to hold the ball.
Round the grounds, Pittsworth in front by 26 points to 22 after being 22-0 down. A big comeback there by the Danes over at Carl Park. 42-0 Gatton over Highfields. 32 points to 26. Oakey with the ball, and they're in front. They're 25 metres out from Warwick line. They play the ball through Hewitt. That gets it to Kennedy. Kennedy on to Gus Taylor. He pushes off Harry Sullivan. Gets the ball across to Torps. He lightens up. Taylor Sullivan comes in and puts him on the ground with Mitch Wilson. Kennedy goes again from dummy half. On to Chown. Flat ball to Marcus Spence. He strips over. He's 10 metres out from Warwick line. If they score here, Oakey, you reckon it'd be hard for Warwick to win, especially if they get the kick.
Do they go a field goal?
Well, it's probably a chance here.
Right in front.
They go back. Out it comes, and they do. And Cleven, does he kick it? No, it's waved away to the right in front, and that was a telling sign. But good thoughts there by the super coach, Gary Lawrence. It would have been a 7-point ball game. Warwick with the ball. I tell you what, there's a lot of players with hands on heads there from Warwick. They're pretty tired as Izzy brings it up. Has he lost the ball there? No, he's grabbed it. Nice tackle there by Kennedy. It's been a brutal game. They bring it forward. This time it is EJ Tatupu. He takes it forward, gives it out to Cody Byrne. He's on the 50-metre line. Warwick with the roll at the moment. Sullivan. Long ball out to Lepau. Goes himself, beats one. He's got Jake Speed. He's finds space. They chase him. Cleven's there, but Speed will beat them. And he scores about 10 metres in from that far side. And Warwick are back in this game. It's 32 points at 2:30 with 6 minutes to go. How crucial was that missed field goal there, Gary?
Yeah, very crucial. And, you know, they had it set, and they should have had protectors there that they got that field goal. But I really, really liked how that Jackson Lepau gets in that left to right, and he was really, really good. And put Jake Speed down the sideline there. There was no one outside Jake Speed, and he was home and hosed. But we see Schuster coming back. That shoulder's playing up still, but he's staying there, and they haven't been smart enough, Oakey, to go after him. They've really need to look at that shoulder, but Oakey, you know, they're not out of it.
No, it's a kick here for Pollock. He's about 15 metres in from that eastern touchline. He's kicked 3 from 4. Missed an easy one. In he comes, 22 metres back. This will tie it up. He kicks it. Looks good in the air. They say no! It's hit the left upright, and Oakey remain in front by 32 points to 30. It's a 2-point ball game. Let's go across out to Valleys and Pittsworth. It's still 22 points to 26. Pittsworth in front there late in the game. 54-0. Gatton over Highfields, and we have got a cliffhanger here with Oakey not taking too much time to get up here. Right?
No, but they can't shut up shop, you know, because there's 4 minutes left in this game. They cannot afford to shut the shop. Referee's called timeout, which he can, and he's saying, well, you're stalling here. Let's give everyone a fair chance. Mitch Wilson on the other side, he's been rallying the troops. He's been clapping and getting everyone up.
Here's a kick. It's long and deep. Under it is Lapau. He takes it on the full, gives it out to Cody Byrne. He's met there by a wall of Bears players on his 20-metre line. 4 to go. It's a 2-point ball game. Oakey in front by 32 points to 30. Oh, bit of a high tackle there by Cam Hewitt, and the referee has no hesitation to call a penalty. Mitch Wilson was the ball with the man with the ball.
Yeah, look, and his chin would be back near his ears at the present time. But
so Pollock kicks for touch, and they'll tap the ball right in front of our commentary position. They're just inside Oakey territory, Warwick. Thomas Bell with the ball. He goes forward. He's met by Hewitt.
Great defence by Oakey here.
Also in there is Ising. Out it comes to McGrady. Back inside to EJ. EJ takes it forward. He gets to his 30-metre, to Oakey's 30-metre line. In the last 3 minutes here, a cliffhanger here at Trevor Mickleborough Oval. Cody Byrne's got the ball. He goes forward. He needs 3 to take him down. He's 20 metres out from Oakey line. Sullivan from dummy half gives it on to Thomas Bell. Nice tackle there by Marcus Spence. They go towards the stick. Sullivan gives it out to Mitch Wilson. A great tackle there by Thurl. This is a 5th and last. What can they do? One of their last chances. Out it comes to McGrady. Long pass to Lapau. Kicks it forward over the back of Adams, and it goes dead in gold. It wasn't the best of kicks. We've still in the last 3 minutes. It hasn't clicked over to the last 2 minutes.
And that's what we haven't seen from Warwick. We haven't seen someone take this game by the scruff of the neck and say, give it to me. I know where I'm going to kick it, or I'm going to run someone. Now Oakey can bring it back slowly. You know, they just need to get better control, ball control with the 6s and 7s, knowing what they're doing.
Well, it is hang on to the ball for the set of 6. It's Oakey's here to win if they can secure the set of 6. You think they'll still be having to defend Warwick when they get their set of 6.
TJ's off now, and they've got Charlie
here's
Christensen
Spence
on.
again for his second hit up of this set of 6. 32 points to 30. Oakey over Warwick. Out it comes to Richard Murray. He gets over the 50-metre line just inside Warwick territory. We're in the last 2 minutes of play. Murray, he'll get up to play it. Kennedy's got the ball. He goes left. Out it comes out to Alberts, who's been very good, probably their best today. He'll get up to play it. Kennedy goes left to Taylor. Taylor kicks it over for Adams. It's taken on the full by Jake Speed, and a good chase by Oakey, and they trap him on his 15-metre line. He'll get up to play it. No mistakes Oakey will want here as Warwick come across with Pollock. Pollock, he's tackled on his 10-metre line. He'll get up to play it. They're deep in their own territory, Warwick, where they don't want to be. Thomas Bell takes it forward. He gets to the 20-metre line. He'll get up to play it. They're down by 2, 32 points to 30. Oakey in front. And a big hit there by Richard Murray on Cody Byrne. But Cody Byrne is a one tough man. He keeps going. Here's Sullivan. He comes at Harry. It is. He's tackled just inside the 50-metre line. We're in the last 40 seconds of this epic match here at Trevor Mickleborough Oval. Here's McGrady onto Lapau. Out it comes out to Schuster. He's found space. He gets it out to Speed. And Speed scores. Jack Speed scores in the corner to win the game for Warwick. It's an epic here at Trevor Mickleborough Oval. Has he awarded it? Yes, he has. It's 34 points to 32. And Warwick have won this cliffhanger here, Gary Lawrence.
Yeah, look, and that was against the run of play. Oakey have been really coming home this last 10 minutes, and they've done everything possible there. But Schuster's been carrying that right shoulder, and he's been limp all the time, that right shoulder, and he's gone in there and he said, give me the ball. He gets on the outside, and then he gave Jake Speed every opportunity to score that try. And Schuster hasn't got off the ground yet. He's still holding that shoulder, and his players have walked past him, left him there. And Mitch Wilson, you know,
keep in mind, mate, it was the third tackle, and they're still not out of their 15-metre line there. That was tremendous stuff. And I tell you what really did it was Cody Byrne's run here when Richard Murray went in for the big hit there as well. It set it up. Harry Sullivan zipped out a dummy half. and then they just set it up and just went out that side, and they scored there, Gary. It was what a magic game it has been, and both teams are to be congratulated. We've got to give a player of the match here, mate. I was just going through them, mate. Charlie Christensen was great. Cody Byrne was fantastic. Mitch Wilson was very, very good. A couple. That's about it. What I can see there, Gary. Tom Bell was very, very good. So, what are your thoughts, mate?
Yeah, look, it's pretty hard to say there because 10 minutes ago, Oakey were going to get the 3 points and the 1 point. There was no if buts maybes. They were playing better and they were doing everything with feeling and everything.
Well, I thought Cody Byrne. And his impact in that second half, he played the first half all there. He went off, but what he did and brought to the side to get the grind back, they weren't winning.
Yep.
What did Oakey score? 1, 2, 3, 4 tries, right, before they even come up for air.
Look at Schuster over there in the huddle there. Now they've got his arm in a sling or in a jersey pulled up into a sling.
Here's Lapau. He's been good today late, but it was a big defensive side. He comes in to kick it to make a 4-point ball game, and it's waved away, and rightly so. It's a 2-point ball game, Gary. It's amazing stuff.
Yeah,
Gary. So really good. So 3 points to Cody Byrne. You happy with that?
Yeah. Look, I think he'd have to get 3. The 2 points. Can I give it to a number of players from Oakey because, they played well.
4
I
tries.
haven't seen
4 tries. Joey Alberts, I think.
Yeah, look, I haven't
closely followed by Ash Taylor.
Yeah, no, well, Alberts would be my pick there, and then
1 point for Warwick, mate.
Maybe Mitch Wilson or
Charlie Christensen.
Yeah,
Tom Bell. Yeah, you pick it, mate.
Yeah, look, I'd probably go to Mitch Wilson.
Okay, mate.
No
worries,
I don't know how some of these players are going to get up and go to work tomorrow. Both sides.
What a great game.
Oh, great game of rugby league, the Toowoomba Rugby League. And the referees.
It really was, mate.
He did a great game. And I just see here the touch judge, one of the touch judges wearing green socks, so he's under 18. And he's done a great job here. It was a pretty physical game. And,
let's just see if we can get across to Valleys here for that end of that game there.
Oh, they're back in front.
Well, we'll see what happens. Are you there, Alan Fitzgerald?
I'm here.
Is it full time there yet?
No, we've got about 1 minute 26 to go.
And what's the score, mate?
Mate, it's been pretty exciting in the second half for Pittsworth supporters. It was 22-0 at half time to Valleys, and they got to 26 to 22. It was all Pittsworth for about 30 minutes. And Valleys gave a lot of penalties away. And
what's the score at the moment, mate?
Camped down our line, and then we got a try under the post a minute ago, so it's 28-26 with 1 minute to go.
Well, we might just stay with you there, Fitzy. We've had a cliffhanger here, mate, with Jake Speed scoring in the last 30 seconds of the game to win the match for Warwick, 34 points to 32. So
over Gatton?
Over Oakey, yep. And Oakey led 32 points to 26 with 13 minutes to go. After being down 26 points to 8. How much time left are you in the last 30 seconds there, Fitzy?
32 seconds left here. And
who's got the ball, mate?
Really put it. We've got the ball. Fitzworth really put it on the second half, and their forwards, young Jordan O'Shea had a really big second half. Blake Cullen, Nick Nunn, Kubaboya, and young Sullivan, young Woodbridge. Sorry. He's kicked 3 goals. If he'd have been kicking earlier, they'd have probably been in front.
Who's been your best? Who's been your best for Valleys? The big front rower?
Yeah, well, he's had a try up to get this other try, and he's been good in the second half. There we are. There's a siren. You can hear it.
Full time? Has he called full time, mate?
No.
Yes, it's still 28 points to 26.
Time now. Yep, 28-26. Yep.
Okay, that's very good. Yep. Thanks for helping us out, Fitzy.
No worries. Thank you.
I really appreciate it. Thanks very much, mate.
No worries. Bye.
How's that?
Unbelievable, mate.
34-32. They're 28-26. The games have given a lot here today.
Yeah, they certainly have. And what an amazing competition that continues, Gary. I'm just going to see if I can get Kelvin Hawke on the phone. And has he answered yet? It doesn't matter because Gatton have had an absolute there. You there, Kelvin? How are you, mate?
You're trying to reach
he's gone home, that's for sure. So the last score we had there, it was 54-0 there for Gatton over Highfields. And then the Clydesdales, they end up losing 52 points to 32 there, Gary. So are you glad you came out all the way from Warwick, Gary Lawrence?
Yeah, look, I am. It's been a great to see the Oakey Bears. They're revitalised. They play tough. They, a couple of times there they gave opportunities away, but geez, they came home well. And for every, if the game was only played over 77 minutes, they would have been the winners here today. I think they can go home now. They are the winners. Whatever happened with the scoreboard, they're the winners in the supporters' eyes. Big crowd here. They've had a big day all day. They started off with a 8:30 barbecue for supporters and players and everything for a breakfast. Mm-hmm. And then they've continued that on all day with games here. And it's a great crowd and there's good atmosphere here. And, like the people, they're everywhere here. So they'll do well out of this. And Oakey can now live to fight another day. They'll be able to say, well, that one got away from us. And it did get away from them. They had opportunities at times. They turned it over and then Warwick came back, and then Oakey came back. And then it was just sheer class by one or two players from the Warwick side. Did they go to that right-hand side and then Schuster down that right-hand side, giving it Jake Speed, and that was the ball game.
Yeah, exactly right, mate. Well, let's have a look at this ladder here for Hutchison Builders. On top is Gatton, undefeated on 14 points. Wattles are now outright second on 10 points. Brothers are on 8 points, and Warwick, well, they're on 6 points, and with 30 seconds to go, they win there now and equal third with Brothers on 8 points. Dalby outright fifth on their own on 7 points. Valley's just out of the 5 on 6 points. They weren't looking too good early in the season. Then you've got Gundy on 5, Pittsworth and Oakey on 4. And it's important games for Pittsworth and Oakey just to lose by 2, because if they would have won, they would have been in Valley's spot, only 1 point out of the 5 there, Gary, and 2 points to Oakey to Highfields and South, Gary.
Yeah, look, and you look at Valleys there, beginning of the season they lost a lot of players and, obviously they had some changes around with the coaching team and everything, and Barrett's done a great job. He's been there as a co-coach for the last couple of years, but he's coaching on his own now. And to do what he did this season with the players he's had to work with, it's a great effort by him. And, but is there anyone in this competition that's going to run Gatton down? Haven't seen it yet, but Gatton, it's still early days. They can't afford injuries because, they've got some stars. I don't know what their depth is, but, we've seen Oakey improve in 25, and the committee, the coaching staff, and all concerned with the club should be very, very proud of what they've done.
Okay, well, next Saturday night we travel to John McDonald over to the last start 2-point losers. It's Valleys versus Oakey at Valleys there. And then the big game next week is Warwick versus Gatton at Warwick. That should be a ripper, Gary. I'm sure you'll join me then, mate. And for your last say, mate?
Yeah, look, we've seen some great games of rugby league, and the spectators have been really good to the rugby league here in Toowoomba, so keep it on.
Yeah, well, the games still continue. This was a ripper of a game. Everyone played well. Look, a special mention to the referee. I thought he did very, very well. And as Toowoomba Rugby League, close competition still keeps coming. We look forward to seeing you next week. Good luck to your State of Origin favourite team. Go you Queenslanders, and thanks very much to our special guest today in Chris Close. Sandra O'Brien signing off at Power FM. Be good to your family and friends. And rugby league football, the greatest game of all.